Washington Prime is going on. Oh,
hey!
I was just gonna forget the show and just go with that.
Just go with the music. Yeah.
Oh, that was good, man. I like that every time I hear it.
What's up?
What's up, Gare?
Nostrathomas. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I'm trying to put us on. Did you put us on live?
Yeah, I think we are.
All right. All right. I was going to put it on Facebook Live, but I don't see it. Gary, I have had, let's see, right now I got some gauze in because I had some teeth pulled. So I'm doing my Godfather impression right here. And I had, my son's doing really good at basketball, but he left the garage door open under the kitchen when it was like 10 degrees below zero.
Oh,
and
not good.
Left it open. And then when it was 60 degrees, weird how things start breaking and popping and big water leak.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy out there. My glasses are kind of not doing. It must be foggy outside because
it is foggy outside.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So how's everything been going? I mean,
everything's. I tell you what. I want to announce that we were well over 2,000 views on the last show. So.
Oh, nice.
We're keeping this thing rolling. I got some emails from Summit about the show and stuff. So, and we're going to keep going right here and right now because I have a conclusion that I've made over the last week because I've had work in Florida. I have a lot of stuff going on, but I had a show ready for last week and you hurt your back and I had a bunch of stuff going on. My son had some nerve issues. So, but I came to the conclusion, really, if you're not interested in knowing any truth and you don't want to see, you're never going to see it if you're not interested in it.
Right. That's correct.
mean, I've just had conversations where I can't even believe what I'm hearing because they just won't get to the point where this is not the same world. It isn't going to be okay tomorrow just because we're America. It isn't.
No.
We're past that.
I think only the people are going to be able to make this change, But I, honest to gosh, Tom, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
please.
I listen and read so many things, and I just don't think the people really realize what's going on. Like, I just don't think they want to believe it.
Or they don't want to see it. Is more
right. They don't want to see it
because it's so shockingly obvious that you just get to the point where it's like ruining your day, or you can't believe that you're hearing this, and then you just have to get to that piece that they're not interested in hearing that.
Well, they
don't want to know it.
I listen to certain areas of the media, which is not the mainstream media. Right. And they talk about all this ongoing stuff behind the scenes, and there probably is. But then I'll be in my truck by myself, and I'll scream, "Well, what are you doing about it?" Like nobody's doing nothing. They're not going to show us nothing.
They complain.
It's very frustrating.
Frustrating. You brought up the truckers thing, and I'm looking at that, Gary, and I'm thinking to myself, here's a perfect example where this mandate deal is over in a couple weeks. But these elitists don't care. He could have just let it sit. But these people think they're so right, and you should just shut up, that he picked a big fight that's going to get him out on the street.
That's
but they don't care. They can't handle any kind of criticism, any kind of fight back, any kind of debate. They just want you silenced and out of the way, or they call them insurrectionists. These truckers who haven't done any damage.
Nothing.
But I remember all the rioting where there was a ton of damage. That was nothing. These guys
didn't Nadler say, "Oh, they're not really doing that. That's a myth." About the riots.
Right, because the media doesn't cover it. So if you don't see it, it isn't happening,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
But did you understand that? And I got this when they said that Hunter Biden, all that stuff, when they got his laptop,
Yeah.
it was there was a possible hack, so they couldn't deal with it on YouTube and that they were on no social media.
Oh, of
But
course.
the people that gave money to the truckers, that was hacked, and
But
they
that
got
was
all the.
okay
But that was
because they did it.
okay.
They did it. That's why it's okay.
But I mean,
It's
it's a perfect example of this two-tiered system that we live in.
it's
You can
disgusting.
spy on Trump. You can. They already proved, which we already knew, that the dossier was fake and she did all this stuff. But that doesn't matter. We're still talking about January 6th.
Yeah, that's totally. And
It's
you know what?
embarrassing.
I almost got booted in Facebook jail again, by God, because this lady started talking. She goes, "Yeah, what about the 35,000 lies that Trump gave?" I go, "Man, I go, it's been over a year, and that man's still living in your head rent free." I go, "You people just crack me up." And then I said,
35,000 what?
35,000 lies he told during his presidency, she
Oh,
said.
really? So
Like,
is an infinite number of lies
yes,
that these Democrats get away with?
she put 35K.
Mm.
I'm like,
Let's
man,
see.
these people, man.
Well,
You know,
how
go
could
ahead.
you not see that Joe Biden and his son were in a dynamic duo to make millions of dollars on their own without any help from these guys are millionaires, almost billionaires, are as dumb as a rock. But as they're
Well,
serving the public, they've made millions of dollars. Jeez, how does
I
that work?
did hear. Did you hear recently they went to Mar-a-Lago and they took all the stuff back that Trump took out of the White House? Just recently they did. Well, listen, it's kind of funny because every president that's been in our White House got to take stuff out of that White House that was given to him from other leaders, like gifts. They thought he took all there. The news was saying he took these records that were supposed to leave the Washington D.C. But well, they went and raided Mar-a-Lago, and everything was just gifts given from other leaders of countries, just gifts, and they're allowed to do that. It's a known fact. So I guess the Biden administration put something into effect where they're allowed to do that. Well, guess what? It goes both ways. So now they're allowed to get all Biden stuff, and they
And
think they
they
made a boo
won't.
boo. No, I think they made a boo boo because I think they are.
I tell
I
you
think
what,
they're going to get it.
this Durham report, I know no media is going to cover it, but they're getting their ass handed to them right now by that prosecutor. And there's
Yeah,
a
he's
ton of
really
stuff
bringing
coming
it.
out, and they're getting so upset because they have to actually answer questions. Oh my God, the
They got
pressure.
the Clinton Foundation tied to two different financial institutions that help with that fake dossier.
Did you know what
Durham's got that.
they found out? That the Clinton Foundation, when they went through the records of donations, they bought 5 candy bars from a kid selling candy bars. I think that's as
That's
much as,
the.
yeah, that's their donations. That was it. That's all they could find.
I mean, I'm getting fed up to the point now where I just want to walk down Washington, down Pennsylvania Avenue. If I see one of them, I just want to smack the shit out of them. I just can't stand even hearing their name. Everything's a lie comes out of their mouth. Every little thing's a red lie. I just can't take it. I can't take it no more.
Well, I think the best example of politicians and how to move ahead and get, you know, to a higher level is Tim Ryan. He's the perfect, he's the perfect guy. Wait, 18 years,
Yeah, hold on
nobody
a second.
nobody
Why?
even knows what he's done.
Why are you a congressman? I'll get back to you on that.
But he has no accomplishments at all unless he gloms onto something else. But
Zero.
that whole record has gotten him to be a front runner for the Senate. Well, there you go. That's how you do nothing, and that's how you get ahead. It's opposite. Politics is opposite of the real world.
I think we talked about this before, actually. I worked for UAW for years, which is Union Automobiles, and and Packard Electric, the IUE
Mm-hmm.
electrical workers, and they were very, very big Democratic organizations and still are. And I was then too because that's what I was told. They're for the working families, which back then they were. Well, I always tell people, listen, I used to vote Democrat. Now
Mm-hmm.
I just use my best instinct. Who I feel is going to run this country best. I don't give a shit if it's a damn orangutan. If he can run the country better than this jackbo in there now, guess who's getting my vote? But I always say this Democratic Party left me. I didn't leave them.
Right. But they
And,
won't
and, and
acknowledge it. They just won't
but
acknowledge it.
exactly, Nostratomus. I'm tired of sides. I'm tired of this side
Yeah.
versus
Well,
this
that's
side,
the
red
whole.
versus blue. Yeah, I'm just I'm just tired of it. I don't even think there should be sides. I think you should run for it.
I would really seriously.
Why?
I just don't think I could play the game very well. I mean, because I really don't like Republicans either. They're all
I
a
don't either.
big pile of crap. To me, it's nothing. It's a big bunch of people that may have had a good idea coming in, but once you get in that swamp, it just sticks to you and you go right down the same thing. That's why
It
you
sucks
can't.
you in. Yep.
I don't care about this guy from Florida either. I don't. If you're a politician, you're going to end up in the same damn spot.
Yeah, you scare me. Yep. If you're a politician, I always
Jim,
said politicians remind me like car salesmen. Nothing against car salesmen, but they all got a lot of
well,
BS.
but it
They
isn't even
just
BS. It's just flat out complete whatever I have to say to get to the next thing. I just was on air and I just said that. Well, that was yesterday. Today I've changed my mind. They don't even care. It just becomes a
yeah, they don't
cares.
care. Right
But you
on.
know what?
Yep.
I've been calling Joe Biden the Bidas touch, the Bidass touch, Bidass. Everything he touched turns to chickle groover.
Garbage. Yeah.
So instead of the Midas touch, he's got the Bidas touch.
And that's true.
He
And then
is
this guy has
everything.
not accomplished one thing that he said. Not one thing he's accomplished except
Well,
wrecking our country. He's accomplished that. He's doing a good job at wrecking our country. That's it.
another perfect example of that is this Trumbull County Commissioner daily drama. I mean, are you kidding me? Every single day, these three are fighting with each other like three kids.
I really never got caught up in on that, and
Oh,
really
I
never.
mean,
I've heard stories.
it's every
I've
day.
heard. Yeah, see, I've heard stories, and I don't get the newspaper. I don't. I won't read
Well,
the
I'm just
newspaper.
saying these guys are making $90,000 a year, and they can't get through a meeting without calling each other names. What's her name was on Ron Verb's show, ripping Canela Mesa and Frank Food, calling them all these. I mean, we are a laughing stock. This
It's
is so
crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely got other things we need to concentrate on, especially. I mean, not just in Trumbull County, but in Ohio in general. We got. I don't think there's any time for that. I mean, like I said, I haven't really listened to much of it. I have heard stuff at work before, but
It's a
what was going
part-time
on? But
job, and they can't even do it part-time. Is the funny thing about it. So,
yeah, that's not good.
um,
But hopefully they get to what they got to do and get it done and get it done right because I think Trumbull County deserves that.
yeah.
I think the people in Trumbull County deserve it.
Well,
And
even if you have a good idea, there's a way. You don't walk into the office on the first day and just start tearing things up, ripping things down, changing everything. You'll become a lunatic in a week. And what you do then from there, because you're a Republican, is just get beat down. Whatever you want to do just gets beat down. You need
yeah,
to do a little bit more tiptoeing a little bit in the early, but it just went as soon as it happened, as soon as it started.
yeah.
So
I definitely heard about stuff like that, but like I said, I never really paid that big of attention to it. Uh, and on all honesty, man, I'm so tired of the drama and the politics right now. Like I'm trying to think. If you don't pay attention to it, then you really don't have a clue what's going on. If you pay attention to it, then you get
then you go
irritated or pissed
crazy.
off. Yeah,
I
and you
just
go crazy. So it's
it's
like I play my music. I try to stay busy with my classic cars and trucks that I work on, and it still crosses my mind though, because I'm like a goofball for it too, because I want to know what's going on, and if I don't like what's going on, I get upset. So it's a no-win situation right now.
you're like me, like I've got all this other stuff going on. You know, my son's senior year. Believe it or not, this Friday, he's going to become the leading scorer in Matthews history under the high school Matthews. Obviously, Rex Leach when it was Vienna, but Vince will surpass everybody. So, when he leaves so when Vinsanity leaves the garage door open when I told him to close it, and then it was 10 below zero, and now my pipes break, I have to look at that again. And okay, Vince, thanks for closing the garage door that I told you to do. So it's always going to be Vinsanity. It is. And I told him about it. He went, that's not my fault. I go, oh my God, my kids next to Jesus. Wait, there's Jesus and my kids never have done one thing wrong ever. Never. Not even once.
Well, listen, we were young before too. We were young before.
Yeah, but my dad just didn't buy my.
No, mine didn't either.
I didn't do it. Well, hell, you didn't.
I usually got a foot put up the old rear as well.
Yeah, you didn't even try to come off with that. You just went, take your medicine. But apparently, I'm into some debates every time. I'm a debater. Okay, tell me your story again. Why? Just do what I tell you.
Right, Vince. I meant he obviously got that sports off of you.
Yeah, and his humility came from mom. His humility came from his mom. I mean, he don't get excited about nothing. I tell him, Vince, these are great feats that you're doing. And he just, yeah. I go, this comes around once in a lifetime. Gary, I'd be out there with tears in my eyes. This is so great. And he just takes nothing too big, nothing like me. I'm either throwing my equipment and getting thrown out of a game, or it's the greatest day of my life. There's no in between.
My mom told me that my mom was like, she goes, you're Capricorn. So you're impatient. If you want something, you want it now. If you want to get something done, you want it done now. Strange thing about our sons. Obviously, my son Zach is special needs. And he loves texting you. He loves texting everybody.
He's such a good kid.
It's basically what he does. So he texts me and he's telling me about somebody's iPhone at work, at the workshop. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? He goes, I don't know. I hate this effing iPhone on a text message. I went, snapshot, sent it to his mother. I go, what's going on with him?
Couldn't have been you.
He's grounded. And I was like, so I talked to him on the phone. I said, Zach, you can't cuss like that. I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm like, what am I going to do? He's 30 years old legally.
Oh, that's right. But maybe he saw some of your Facebook comments.
I told her, I said, he had to get that word from either you or I. We were together because. But yeah, he's. I wish I could have got him on even for a minute. It would have been great. He would love to see you.
Oh, we're gonna have to do that though.
Yeah, we'll try sometime. Sure. Yeah.
Hey, Gary, I just wanted to know what you thought of this because nobody's thinking about it yet, but you will. Okay, forget the gas pump. Forget that.
Right on. Yeah.
Forget that inflation's a 40-year high. Forget that. Wait till the utility bills and the deals that you were in a township come up. Wait till you get the gas and electric bills after the apples to apples thing is done and your deal is over with whoever. Because guess what? Everything changes then. I don't care how much money you make. You're not going to be able to ignore that. Because the bigger your house, the more it's going to cost. So we'll see how everybody's thinking of good old Joe, who, by the way, is a 28% approval rating. That's like North Korean's leader being our president. That's how bad that is, 28.
I heard a poll on the X22 report about how many think he's doing a good job. It wasn't approval. How many think he's doing a good job? How many think he's doing a bad job? 56% feel he's doing a bad job. And like 44% feel he's doing a good job. I'm like, who are these 44% of people?
They must be. Here's what they are. Somebody on the tape, transgenders that want to go against girls, every other goofball group, somebody. That's the people that are okay with whatever he does. Doesn't matter what he does. It won't even matter. So
but they don't understand. It's going to affect them too.
But they don't even care about they don't care about their own kids, because you can't tell me you care about your kids and grandkids when you're okay with this stuff. You're a liar.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
And I gotta say something else, and I know you agree with me. If you know anything about the Bible and you keep tabs on any bit of this, what's going on now, and you can't correlate that to the Bible, God's word, I'm telling you, go get saved, because this is going down the end of the days. I'm telling you right now, everything's lining up. This no cash society where you're not going to be able to buy bread unless you have, they're okay with it because there's no more money. It's going to be digital. So no matter what you're buying, they're going to make
crazy,
it. That's where we're at, and that's what the mark of the beast is talking about. This is where we're at.
Well, I guess Trudeau up in Canada, he announced martial law to inflict martial law,
A form
which
of martial law, yeah.
yeah,
Instead of
and
just
I
shutting up.
read something where he's able to freeze their bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Yep.
Like, how
There
can
you
you
go.
just freeze somebody's bank accounts?
Because once you label it as a terrorist or an insurgent and all you can get in there. That's what they put in place now. Or you can start threatening them that they're going to shut your bank down. It's going to be way worse than that. It's going to be way worse than that.
Well, it's going to get interesting.
Well, it's not, to me, I'm really worried about my kids.
Sure.
I mean, they're 20 years old. They're getting handed a bag of shit from our generation.
Yes.
Here you go. You guys do something with that. We just effed everything up.
We didn't do nothing. Just deal with it.
No, our generation is the one that ruined everything. Right here. Right here. God, our parents were too hard on us. We're not going to do that. We're giving them kids everything they want. We're going to fight their battles in school. We're not going to let them fight their own battles.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Your kid got picked on. Let's run down to the school. This is what we've done. We've made our own bed.
We got to touch on one more thing before we go on to our other segment of this show. I can't take this mask stuff anymore. I can't do it.
I have a special little thing here.
Don't you dare put it on.
Okay. Wear this at the airport and see what happens. Right here. And this gets more freaking laughs, and then also it gets more what a nut than this right here. So there you go, folks.
Honestly, there's still people in their cars by themselves with a freaking mask on. I almost want to stop them and knock on the window and say, "You're okay. That could come down. You don't have to wear."
Actually, in the grocery store, I just start like I have Tourette's syndrome. Take that mask off. Just like are you kidding me?
I know. I get it if it's an older person, it makes them feel safer or whatever, right. Even if it don't work. Then go. I get it, but there's still people our age and younger that are making kids in schools wearing them.
The young people. Well, how about that Abrams? She has every kid in the class. She goes in Georgia, and she's the only one that doesn't have a mask on, telling everybody all the kids.
Not as I do.
And then she lies and says, "Oh, that was just went up to the podium." There's about 15 pictures of her all throughout the day with no mask on. She just sit and lie now. Just make up stories. Nobody cares.
Well, I honestly believe that something is going to happen. It's going to take a turn for the worse, I'm sure. But if anybody has any type of feelings or morals or anything or justice, Durham's doing what he can. I think when the table starts to turn, I think we are going to know it because it's going to be unhideable. The media is going to have not a choice but to report on it. Like I seen posts where this ladies were sticking up for that Como, the jerk that was on CNN. I'm like, only far left liberals would be, sticking up for this guy. This guy's a jerk. He was a jerk on the air. His brother was a jerk, and he's sticking up for his brother. He's assaulting women, trying to touch him, and when they deny him, the guy's an idiot.
You know what?
And
I do this like little shout out here.
take,
When I hear
take your mask.
when I see people when I see people calling Fox News FAUX news.
Yeah.
Now I just challenge somebody. We'll sit down together and we'll watch Tucker Carlson and we'll go line by line what he says, and then we'll watch one of these CNN shows where they just sit and bullshit lie, and you're going to tell me that Fox News is just a big you you are really
It's not.
insane if you're telling me that.
I did think at one point in time Tucker was going to switch on us, but he came
Well,
back stronger.
all
I
it
think it's
takes is
because he
some.
started finding out more stuff.
It takes a little bit of. I know this is crazy, but a little bit of common sense. If this plus this got to equal this,
Right. Yep.
this and your pile of crap does not equal this. It's actually kind of simple, but you have to have an audience that actually wants to hear it, or
Sure.
it actually wants to dig in and investigate. I don't even care if you don't agree. Just take what I say and go. Don't come up with some comparison that you said 28%, it was 27.5. I mean, I'm just saying
Right.
in what
The
is
thing is that people they don't want to do their own research. They just want to believe
because
what
they
somebody
might
tells
find out the
them.
truth. That's the reason. They might actually see the truth, and they don't want
Right.
to see it. They really don't. I
That's
was sitting there.
right. I know.
I was sitting there arguing with my dad about every day, including today. There's another 20 obituaries in the Warren Tribune. Now
Wow.
I went back 3 years and looked at similar days, maybe 5, 6. Every single day, there's 20 something.
Yeah, I actually
Unexpectedly,
lost a couple friends recently.
unexpectedly, this aneurysm, that I'm telling you, this shot finds whatever weakness you have in your body and it's taking people out.
Yeah, oh
That's
yeah.
reality.
Yep.
It's
I
the
I knew somebody that had the COVID and lupus. I think I could be wrong. Young, beautiful girl. She passed. A friend of mine. This wasn't from COVID though, but a friend of mine right down the street here, Bill. He's great, great man. He's worked with me for years. His wife just passed. It's crazy. Now I don't know if there was any compromised systems. Their immune system was compromised. I don't know none of that. But the ones that I heard, I'm hearing more and more now. That, oh, they had COVID. This person had COVID. I'm like, are you sure? Because this stuff hasn't been right from the beginning, and that's frustrating too.
oh
Everybody keeps saying,
no,
well,
I
they had
mean, well,
COVID. Oh, well, they had that OPCD, whatever it is with the
yeah,
breathing, and then they
yeah.
got COVID. Well, that's what COVID does. It attacks your lungs. I mean, so they had a
Yeah.
compromised system, which is horrible.
Almost most everyone has had some type of either obesity or whatever, sugar, something that the COVID took them down and out because they didn't get any early treatments that actually worked. Let's go home. If it gets worse, come in. And then you come in to get you put on your breathing machine because they didn't treat anybody early. Can you imagine those early the first 5 months, all those people dying? They didn't even do anything for them when they knew all this stuff existed that could actually help them. I mean,
Well,
that's bizarre.
just a thing on social media of locally, three guys from around here that were one of the first ones that had it that were only given a couple hours to survive it in the hospital and they ended up pulling through completely. And I
Well,
know one gentleman from a long, long time ago. Um, but a couple of scientists and everything, which I don't know this is true, but they did say they're treating COVID they're treating it wrong with the ventilators because all you do is pushing it, just keep pushing it.
that's the death march, the ventilator. Once you get to
Yeah,
that, it's
it's hard to
over.
come off.
And you can't tell me that what happened, I won't say who, got them ivermectin, put it in their cookies. They made a comeback in 3 days. You can't tell
Yeah,
me that didn't happen. You could say all
well,
you want about the studies, but I'm telling you, the National Health Institute came out with a study that said it truly does work. Hydrochloroquine and ivermectin were the best treatments for early on, and they didn't use any of it.
Because number one, it's too cheap. They would have never made no
Number
money.
two, they
And
wanted
number
to
two,
shove these vaccines up our ass, is what they wanted to do. Because they want,
they
it's
don't
just,
want nobody to get better.
they want these old people that are draining the system off the planet. That's the unfortunate reality. And that
you get me fired up every time we talk about this. I get my ears start getting hot.
It just pisses me off that people won't see that.
I know my ears get hot when I start talking to you about this because I get upset.
Well, you know,
what about that Super Bowl?
You know, I was just going to bring that up. That I just thought it was funny that this LeBron. How much attention does LeBron James need?
Too much.
He wanted to hitch his bubble Lakers championship to their parade. What the heck? And then he's out there hugging Aaron Donald. I mean, he's always in somebody else's moment. Remember Dwayne Wade? He retired. There's LeBron James. Remember me? I mean, I'm thinking he's going to be like 60 years old. Hey, you want to talk about my championships again? You know, it's just like, will you get out of here? Let's somebody else. But how much
limelight, brother?
He's he's going to hitch it to the Chargers when they finally win the Super Bowl in 2030. He's going to be, can we get on that since we haven't been, our Laker championship hasn't been. I can't stand it. I can't.
He should have just stayed out of the media and the politics, and he would have been just fine. But he's done ruined. A lot of people don't care for him now.
Yeah, it's crybaby crap
every
time.
Equality, but you had your shoes made over there at 25 cents an hour in a foreign country. You're talking about equality.
And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about
multi-million dollars.
You have to pick and choose what you care about when you're a liberal. You can't get out there and say you care about people. Whoops, no, I don't, because I don't care about that. You care about people's rights, women's. Nope, not women that aren't liberals. No, we don't care about them. Blacks, only blacks that are liberals. We don't care about blacks that are Republicans or conservative. Who cares about that? It's just, that's it. They have to.
And that's another thing too. These liberals in Washington promised the world to some minorities and stuff, and they just stab them in the back, but they keep voting for them. I don't get it.
It just makes me laugh because I'm going to tell you right now, if Bill Cosby didn't come out against his own people and say they pull your pants up and all that, when he went down, there would have been people in the streets. They would have, Al Sharpton would have been, but he was kind of a conservative. Bye.
Yep. See you later.
Cosby. Yep. Who cares? That's what I mean.
I remember when Cosby said that.
Yeah. He says, you're going in there for job interviews like that, you know, pull up your pants, act like, oh man, heck with this guy. That's terrible. Terrible advice.
Yeah, that's he's out now, isn't he? I think he's out. So. Like 200 years old or something. 90. He's up there.
They're going to do a new show. The Huxtables come back or something, I heard. He's getting out of prison, and there they are waiting for him. He's got his sweater, puts a sweater on like the old days.
His Argyle sweater.
Stupid sweaters.
You want to stop and have a drink?
Oh, wait.
Oh, I got it mixed. No, I don't.
That's water. But
I don't drink during the week.
Anything else you want to get into?
I drink once a week.
Well, you get up too early. I'll put mine on. Don't do it.
No. I just wanted to see, like, I can't. I really sympathize with people that think they should have these on all day, every day.
Well, you know what? Actually, when I'm in a bad mood, and I used to be able to like walk by people I know, just COVID. Yeah, you didn't have to talk to people. It's kind of cool.
Hey, I do security sometimes at Packard Music Hall, and this one act comes in there, and I guess the tour manager requests security wear a mask. Security, because we're up by the stage and in front of the stage.
Oh yeah, geez.
So we did. Everybody comes through the door, don't have a mask on.
That's logic.
So I take this mask off at the end of our shift, and my beard's like going, shit. And I looked at Bub and I said, this is exactly why I hate these things. Not only I can't breathe, I feel claustrophobic in there, but look at my beard. I look like straight out like that.
Well, I'm telling you,
So,
it puts very. Think about this. Traveling is very stressful, especially for me. Traveling in airplanes, so you got a mask now that you're not really getting all the oxygen you should, and that's why they cut off drinking on the planes because that plus that was adding to all kind of problems. And then they get pissed, mad when they're having a few drinks. But when you got to look for stuff and you've got really problems like your ticket's not right, sure, could you please stop that? Pull your mask up. Yeah, as we're heading to the crashing. Well, you gotta put your mask up when we hit the cement. And make sure you have that on so you don't get COVID when you're splattered all over the ground. But it sounds ridiculous, but I'm not kidding you. That's serious. They care about that more than anything.
Well, we talked about it. I think last time we were at the studio and we were live. There's no scientific proof whatsoever about masks or social distancing.
Oh, no way.
All that's just made up garbage.
But here's the best one I love. When on Facebook somebody tells me about the study about Fauci and who did the study? Let me see here. Oh my gosh, Berkeley. What'd you think that study was going to say? I mean, like really seriously giving me this crap like it's going to mean something to me.
The guy tortured dogs for scientific reasons.
But the bottom line is the only reason why I have family members in the medical industry, they can't talk about it. It's that bad. So to sit there and act like, well, look at all these doctors. Yeah, look at the ones that aren't connected or on the take. They're saying they're full of, you know what? They're the nuts. The ones that aren't, they have no fight, no dog in the fight. They're the idiots. But the people that get money from it, they're the ones to believe.
I forgot how many hundreds of physicians quit their job because they're not gonna abide by what they're wanting them to abide by.
And the pharmacists, there's a ton of pharmacists that quit doing the shots. They went through all kind of hell. They weren't allowed to talk about why. They were allowed to stop, but they weren't allowed to say why they stopped. They weren't allowed to tell people.
Vaxxed?
Who?
You. You look at me and go, who?
They will have to pin me down or give me $1 billion. Wait. Boy, I don't even know. Is there a dollar value? Maybe. It isn't $1,000.
No, Ohio gave away $1 million.
$1 million. I might put the dang thing in myself with the boosters. Give me another.
The line says if your name is picked after you receive the double vaccine from either 3 of the companies, your name will be put in a drawing for $1 million. And somebody won it. $1 million. And we got vets out on the street homeless, and they're giving away $1 million bucks to get a shot.
Taxpayer $1 million too, by the way.
Yeah, well, still, I'd rather my tax dollars go to help veterans or to help children, Akron Children's Hospital, or special needs, than give it to somebody who got a vaccine.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't know. I don't get it. Who am I, right? Okay. I have to ask you about this Super Bowl since you're a big sports buff. And I've been thinking along, do you think by any chance, because Gruden, he got kicked off the Raiders.
Yeah.
Well, he said something. He goes, well, once the dust clears, I'm going to come out and tell all about the NFL. So I'm wondering.
Oh,
wondering.
Yeah, he said that. They're going to pay him a ton of money to shut up.
But, I mean, it crossed my mind when I heard him say that. It crossed my mind. Do you think maybe the NFL could be fixed because of Vegas?
Listen, when you bet games like I have, and you watch, the stuff that I've seen happen, it's almost where there's money. Where there's money, there's corruption.
Well, there's a lot of money in the NFL.
Where there's gambling and there's a ton of money, there's corruption. So I've always believed you had to be on the right side of the fix when you bet a game. Just be on the right side of it. I always
I
bet.
talked to a couple of people that know the stuff you do, like as far as betting and all that, and they
When it,
said, "Trust me, the bookies in Vegas need the Rams to win this." And I'm like,
and believe me, I was shocked that the Bengals, because for TV money and Tampa, I mean, Rams and Chiefs would have been a blockbuster for the NFL.
Super Bowl. Yeah, that would have been killer. Yep.
And I was shocked that they didn't somehow make that
I
happen.
mean, just the way that the Rams turned it up that last quarter, and that Darnold did. I mean, he was phenomenal. But I'm just the way they turned it up that quick. I was just like, when the Bengals were scoring, they're making it look easy.
Yeah.
Like Bengals are going to win this. I mean,
Yeah.
I was certain. I'm like, Bengals are definitely not beat these guys. And Big Bill, his son plays for the NFL, but he sells our merchandise. He's a big Rams fan. He goes, "You just got to root for the Rams for me." I'm like, "Man, I got to root for the Ohio team. You know,
Yeah.
I want to see Ohio get that trophy." But
I'm telling you,
like
when they put out a line and it looks so crazy, there's a reason they're putting that line out there, -2, whatever. They want you to bet that so bad, to cover, because Vegas wasn't built for us to make money.
right. My dad
It's
told
not.
me that Vegas was not built for winners.
No way. And again, 1-800 I have a gambling problem. You have a losing problem. It's not a gambling problem, because if you're winning, you're not calling that number ever. It's not gambling.
Man, that
It's
is
losing.
true. That is
Loser.
so true.
I laugh
That's
every
a
time
good
I
way
hear
to
that.
put that.
It's no way. Gosh, I just keep winning money. What's that number again? 1-800 gambling problem. Give me that. I can't take it anymore. I just can't stop
That is
winning.
so true. I never looked at it that way. That is true.
Hey, we
You
just
got
had
gambling
we
problem
just had
'cause you keep-
we just had a message on there. Michael Malis, our friend.
Yes.
I put a message up here. Get our tin foil hats on. Now here, let me just say this. If you don't buy this, I think you need to buy a straw sombrero. If you want to fight reality that bad, we're going to get you a straw sombrero. I'll wear the tin hat. You wear the sombrero. Deal, Michael?
I'll play that. I'll play that guitar.
Hey, Michael Mayos, we asked you to be on the show, but I think you were
Yes, Mike.
I think you were had a couple clients or something or whatever you were doing. But we do love you on the show. And I thought I was going to have my Fauci doll. My buddy Michael Malis bought me that action figure Fauci doll. You pull the string, you wear a mask. Pull the string, don't wear a mask. Pull the string. Get 7 masks. It just keeps changing every time you pull it.
I want one.
6 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet distance.
Double mask, triple mask.
70,000 people don't need a mask, but you do when you walk into the stadium and down.
Yeah, that's another thing I brought up on this post. A friend of mine put a post up. She goes, "I'm just curious, is everybody at their jobs still having to wear a mask?" And she works for a bank. And these people are coming on and saying, "No, our own discretion." Other people are like, one guy's like, "Yes, 10 hours a day, 5 days a week." And I'm like, wait a minute, there was just 70,000+ at a Super Bowl, and not nobody had a mask on. So I don't know if it's the owners of these companies or banks or whatever, CEOs or whatever, but I think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They keep that up, I think.
Well, they can't. Here's what they can't do. Nobody in the politics game can admit when they're wrong. So we're going to play this little game for the rest of our lives, I believe. It's never going to go away. Get your mask back out. What happened? Oh, there's some new thing called a sore throat-acron. There's always going to be something. So it's going to be something. We have a runny nose-acron. Get your mask back out. Plug it up your nose to stop the runny nose. Yeah, it's just, it's here, and we made it so easy. It'll be here to control us for the rest of our lives.
I don't know if I necessarily believe that, Thomas, only because I think people are take another drink of Tito's. I mean, I just think people are really getting fed up. I mean, I am hearing on radio stations where people just had enough. They're like, we're done with this. So get over your mask mandates, get over your social distancing. It's obvious what's good for us ain't good for them, and people are really getting tired of it. I am seeing a lot of that. I'm reading a lot of articles. I'm hearing a lot of stuff on the radio stations I listen to. So, but I don't think it's going to go on forever, like you said. So I do have
Well,
to disagree with you on that.
okay, that's good, and we'll see. I hope you're right, but
I do too.
I just think once they put that in motion, they're never going to go back and say we were really wrong about that. So I think there'll always be a reason for a mask
They will
down the road.
never, they will never say they were wrong ever.
No, so if you're never
We know
wrong,
that.
then there's always going to be some reason to put this mask back on. But
I would love, like you said last time we were on the show, to start asking our listeners, do some call-ins, even if they want to send messages on the show about certain topics, because there's nothing more that I like doing some research to kind of find out what. But I think we should, talk to the producer Joey and see if we can start doing something like that in the future.
but
I think it'd be great.
we actually were going to start the calls this week, but with stuff going on and things. But I really, Joe and I are going to get together about some sponsors and that, and then we'll probably need some input and put it into play. Hopefully next week. That's what I want to do.
I had a couple people that are asking if we need a sponsor, so I'm gonna have a couple hookups. Probably
Yeah, I actually got like 3 or 4 messages about it. So, it's I'm really honored that I'm able to do this, and I keep thanking Joe, and I'm sure he doesn't give a rip, but I really appreciate that he's let us. Yeah, I mean, and then I think it's really been good, and I don't think I could do it to the level I'd want to do it, where it would just become a ranting session where I just blah 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 and make jokes and that.
Me.
Yeah, I think we have to have the Garester. We have to, because we go back so many years that it's just.
I was just busting you.
I know, but it's just a natural thing for us to do this. We've done comedy and shows for.
Can you get me some more beer before I go on, please?
35 years. Yeah.
I'll be over at the trailer when I'm done. I want my money.
Yeah, but Gary acts a little different when he's doing really well and the crowds are there. He don't know anybody's name after a while. What, Tom? Huh? Tim? Oh, Tom, that's right. Yeah. I'll get you on that. I'll get back to you on that. We're going to take a long look at that request.
You got to get off the cords. Scoot back a little bit.
Could you move that stuff over there? Hey, Gary, that's our state. Yeah. Could you move it over?
You're like, Gary, this is Tom, Gary.
Yeah, do you know who I am? Not right now, I don't.
The guy that booked you? Who? I go to an agency.
If I didn't have 5,000 people out there, I might know you, but I do, so I don't know you. Don't bother me again.
Those were the good days, boy. I'm telling you. Yep. I had to whoop when Freddie was there with us. We had a lot of good times. A lot of good times. We got to get into that some other time.
That is a really good show. Chuck Kuhn says I'll sponsor toothpaste. Thanks, Chuck. That wasn't very helpful.
Why?
Yeah, he put on. He's going to give us Viking masks for the next show. Thanks, Chuck.
Perfect.
Very helpful.
Yeah, that'd be great, Chuck.
Maybe get us a lay. Okay. On that note, we will wrap it up. Gary, you got any parting shots or?
No, I just I think we covered everything is what we're going to cover today. But we'll look into the callers. I think it would be sweet. I think that open up the show a little bit more.
No, I think it's time. I think we've established it enough. Hey, did you see what happened to that place in Cortland? Did you play there?
Yes. That place burnt. That was in Mecca.
Yeah, that's a pop. That was a pop.
Burnt to the ground.
Did you see why?
Listen to this. They had to go back again this morning because it caught on fire again.
You know why? Because that's all that wood structure. It was built like 100 years ago. Actually,
yeah, it was so old. Yes,
and they did a bunch of renovations and that, and it just went up like a bonfire. I mean, they had no water there.
The hydrants were froze. I played there when the previous owner had it. I played there quite a bit. We opened up for Eddie Money.
Yeah,
we rode the bikes down to see the Average White Band there, and then this owner here, I feel horrible for her.
He was crying in the.
Total, and
And
she just had it renovated.
yeah, she just spent a ton of money on it.
Yeah.
Oh God!
So
Now here's the
hopefully, I
bad thing:
know.
you go through all this COVID and social distancing, and you hang in there to stay open, and then you
Yep.
put money in, and then you get that. Ah,
That's
jeez,
horrible. Yeah, that's.
that makes my
I hope she's, in the end, she gets what's coming to her and she rebuilds uh, a brick building.
at
This
least
is
some
horrible.
fire
Yeah,
retardant.
I guess they did. 911 got the call like 8 a.m. yesterday morning, but they're not sure exactly when it started. But it started sometime in the early morning, I'm assuming. But their scheduled they open up at noon. They're from open from noon to midnight.
Yeah.
So nobody was there, thank God. Nobody was inside, as far as I know. From as far as the reports that I've seen from other people, there was nobody there or inside. So that's good. It is a building; it can be replaced. I hope she gets that opportunity to do that for sure.
Well, I'll leave you with this little tidbit. I remember my wife got in a wreck, and the police officer said, "Just be thankful no one's hurt." And I said, "No one's hurt yet." I'll see you guys. Boom.
Hey, good night.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. If you like our programming, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, or subscribe to your favorite podcast platform like iTunes or Spotify. This is original Youngstown content, and we would appreciate you sharing the videos and the word about us.